beginner can do this, but you need a hammer-on ability. You might have heard of a guitar great named John Lee Hooker. Some of his songs are nothing shy of legendary. I'll show you how an initial riff, once you adapt it, can turn into a complete 12-bar blues. You might have heard of double stops. Well, there's such thing as a double hammer-on. Let me just fix my sleeve here. Starting out here on the 2nd fret, plucking the 5th string, holding that note down with our index finger. And you also want your hands to be angled. Almost like a C chord. And your thumb and even the pinky needs to be aligned so it's unobtrusive. Then we play the open 5th string. See that? And pay attention to the timing I did. Now, for one thing, you can play the A chord with just your 1st finger this way by making a bar, 2nd fret, barring strings 4, 3, and 2. And that's what we're doing. We're putting our pick underneath the 2nd string and going upstroke on strings 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and if you hit 5, that's alright. Do that twice with palm muting. So, we've done many videos on this channel going over the key of E. Let's talk about the key of A. The key of A, the first example, would be your 1 chord. There's your open A string. I made the 1 finger A. So for your 4 chord, there's a D7 version. Okay. Let's talk about that. Well, guess what? This part remains the same. Hammer on, but you play the open 4th string. And you have to be careful here because you got to travel a little bit to make the D7 shape. So here's something very important to think about when you're doing the first version with that A, 1 finger A. When you hit that, you make this, you're going for an upstroke, starting from the 2nd string, not the 1st string. You don't play the 1st string in that situation. That's very important because when you switch to the D7, you do strum an upstroke, starting from the thinnest string. And with the E, here I'll let you see what that sounds like. With the E7, you do strum an upstroke from the thinnest string. So it's very important to recognize the little differences. This part does remain the same. So that's easy to think about. However, you need to know when you're strumming from this string, when you're strumming from this string, when you're strumming from this string. So just to recap a little bit on the music theory side of things, right? Here we are with this shape. As stated before, I've done many videos in the key of E speaking about that. Today we're speaking about the key of A. In the key of A, the first example I showed you will be your 1 chord. So that's with the version, right? For the 4 chord, there's the D7 version, this shape. For the 5 chord, there's the E7 version. We do this by making slight alterations to the riff. while keeping parts of it the same. We're aiming again for the 12-bar blues ultimately. Now with the 4 chord, use the open D string. And then make your D7 shape. As I stated in many videos, it's important to be right behind the frets. So you have to make that jump. The 5 chord at the beginning doesn't change, however. The low E string is played. Then the E7 shape has to go down. Now here's the takeaway. One of them. This can be thought of as several components. You need to combine them, put them together in order to have your 12-bar blues. And so I thought it might be useful at the end to zoom out a little and look at both hands at the same time. So here's the shape. Put my picking hand way up here. So we're here aiming at the... Now we've got our fretting hand set up here, 2nd fret, 5th string. Plucking that note, we need to... If you have trouble with the hammer-ons, you need to persist with it. Eventually your fingers and everything will get stronger. Hammer on, and you have to keep the technique on point. Middle finger, ring finger. Then your upstroke. D7 shape, right? Keep that in mind. 4th string. Do your upstroke. For that E7, that's the same. To pluck the thickest string, your E string.